Okay, here's a game. Metallica. Let's see. I did D4 recently. Let's go back to E4. And E4, E5. Maybe I'll go for the Italian game. No, we're doing a Petrov. This system. I don't know why that's popular. Anyway, against this system with queen to E7, you just put the bishop here and then castle. And then you can put the rook on the E file, and he needs to get out of dodge before he gets into trouble. He's got all his pieces lined up on this E file. Yeah, so he castles. So now I can get a pin on the knight, but can I win it? If I could make a tempo move with the bishop, that would be cool. Or I could, I could kick the knight first and then move the bishop. But I don't see anything great. So maybe I just leave that there and play normal. Yeah, so he gives me a free move with the bishop, but where does it want to go? Here, here, here. Not at all clear. It's just, let's see. He's got a fianchetto set up here. I should avoid moving too quickly. Maybe I want to support the C pawn, the D pawn with the C pawn, rather than grab the center. But he's got knight to. Yeah, I think it's better to keep the knight out of D5, and I'll have to spend some time making sure this pawn is okay. Then I'll just keep that pawn on the diagonal. So that, I don't want this diagonal to open up suddenly and have his bishop attacking my rook. Maybe bishop to B2 is a good idea here. Bishop B2, knight C3, develop that way. The other option is bishop to E3 to defend from this side. Yeah, bishop to B2 looks good here, right? Try and neutralize the bishop on the long diagonal. So he moves his queen again. But putting more pressure on the D pawn, he has logic there. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, potentially 2, and with the knight maybe 3, yeah. So that would be a balance of attackers and defenders. So now I should push on here. Don't want to be stuck defending that pawn forever. I can push on while this knight is still shielding the bishop. So even though my bishop is loose here, unless there's some great move with that knight, I can safely get away with that move. Okay, so now let's defend the bishop and play knight to C3. He doesn't. Actually, yeah, knight to C3 doesn't actually defend that pawn. Let's think about it, because pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes, pawn takes, and then he could even take with the queen at that point, so he doesn't have to allow another pin. So that means I should take. Okay, get my last piece out and prepare to put my rook, bring the other rook to D1. Yeah, that's a good square for his bishop, I guess. Let's see, where do I want to go with the queen? Queen to B3 here, hits his pawn. He has knight to A5, hitting the queen and defending the pawn. And then I move the queen again, queen to B4, B5, I guess. Still. Maybe just to avoid that loss of tempo, But if I go here, then he can bring his bishop back. Okay, let's play this and see what he does. It's not, I guess, that really loss of tempo because is his knight really so effective on a5? Okay, then I get my rook over here. See where his queen wants to go. There. Now, can I harass his bishop here? Knight to h4, and where does the bishop go? There, I take it back, probably back to e6. That's not a bad square for the bishop, actually. Maybe I just wanted to bring my knight forward anyway. Let's go ahead and do that and unmask things along this diagonal again. And I'll take the knight. I've got a passed pawn now. And a check against his king that maybe I can use at some point. Aha, so he he's blocking that diagonal. He doesn't have a dark squared bishop, so queen here looks interesting. Pin that knight and attack it, and now I can move this bishop with tempo once again, putting pressure on that knight. I've got two attackers and it's only defended once, and this will bring a third attacker into the game. And he's kind of loosening his king side a little bit, but he can bring a rook over. The bishop guards that e8 square, so that was a good move there. He can take there with check. Yeah, I forgot that detail because when I moved the queen there, it pinned the knight, but when he played the pawn up, it unpinned. So I was still thinking the knight was pinned, but it wasn't. My bad. So he weakened some of my pawns over here. We'll see if that's a fatal mistake or if he can survive this. If I can survive this. I want to bring a rook in here. It'd be nice to play rook here check. But his queen is still guarding. Maybe push the pawn one step forward. What is the queen threatening? It's pressure on my knight and pressure on my bishop. Looking at f2. Yeah, I really want to get in rook to rook to e7 check. So now, is that a good move? Rook e7 check. I was thinking this pawn might be loose, but his rook is defending it. It buys me a little bit of time here too. I guess it's worth something. He just trades. Now, if I bring my rook over to defend the rook. So if I take the pawn, he can take with the king. The rook is pinned, but the king takes, so that's out. If I bring the rook over to defend my rook, then that loses this pawn. Oh, the trouble with advanced pawns. Let's see. The rook is defended at the moment. I could just leave it there and harass his queen, but his queen would take my pawn then. Not working. Rook to e8, maybe. I guess that loses the pawn too. He can take that pawn now. But well, I do have the back rank. Maybe that's worth something. Yeah, so rook takes pawn. Maybe rook here, hitting the queen. And maybe I can get a second rook to the back rank. So I'm down a pawn and my king side is messed up, but if I get activity with my rooks on the back rank, that could be sufficient. That could be sufficient. So he's looking at this pawn. You know, he's close to mating me here. I'd have to be cautious. Queen there and bishop here, and he's threatening mate. Okay, so let's calculate. I place my rook here. He takes with the queen, and then I drive the king to h6 with the check, and then I can check again from c8 with my queen. I can block with the pawn. And then where is that follow-up? Okay, another way of doing it is to place my queen on c8 first. So rook here. I'll just try this out. I'm expecting queen takes, but maybe he'll stop. And then I play queen to c8. And then if he just goes for the mate, this queen c8 is a sneaky mate threat. Rook to rook to g8 is threatening mate. Oh, that's a nice one. I overlooked that. Let's see. Is there any way out of this one? Yeah, I don't see it. I can't move the king, so my reply is forced. And then I can block with the bishop. I'm just going to resign here. That was a good game. So I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.